Hey everyone, this is Lee, and some of you may be wondering why these weights are on the ground. The rest of you actually read the title of this video and know why they're laying on the ground. So here I'm going to give you a tip for using weights to make your punching power stronger. Now, before I show you with the weights what we're going to do today, I want to explain something. Most of your power from your punch doesn't come from the hands, doesn't come from the wrist, it doesn't even come from the arm. It comes from the legs. Your legs are going to push your punch forward. So whether you go out the back leg or out the front leg, that power is going to come from the ground, pushing your legs, pushing off the ground, being transferred to the core and out through your hands. Now, you may have seen videos with boxers, shadow boxing with weights in their hands. And you may think, okay, the idea behind that is I have weights in my hands, and if I can be fast punching with the weights in my hands, when I drop the weights, I'm going to be even faster because I don't have the weights anymore. Makes sense, right? Actually, it doesn't work that way. When you're punching with weights, there's gravity acting on those weights, and it tends, if you're going too heavy or too fast with those weights, it tends to pull you down and start throwing your form off, which is not going to be good. That's why when you see boxers doing it the correct way, they're not actually overextending their hands. They're not extending full range. When they throw a jab with a weight, they're not doing this, right? They might just throw it out here, and they're just firing with their core, and they're using it as a warm-up and making sure that they're engaging their core. And that's the tip I'm going to give you today. So I have 3 weights here, and the reason why I have 3 weights is because I want you to pick the Goldilocks weight. I want you to pick the weight that's just right for you. So for me, 5 pounds is probably going to be too light because I can go out here and do this, and it's not really affecting my body much where I have to control. And I want to be able to have a weight that's challenging so that when I do this technique that I'm about to show you, that it is challenging. So this is going to be too light. On the other hand, I've got this 35-pound weight, and when I try to punch, I can't extend it out, so this is way too heavy. So this is way too challenging. This is going to do me no good to try it with something this heavy. If you can do it with 35 pounds, congratulations, you're stronger than me. Now here I've got a 15-pound weight, and 15 pounds is my Goldilocks weight. Doesn't matter if it's 5 pounds for you. It doesn't matter if it's 2 pounds for you. It doesn't matter if it's 100 pounds for you, right? Just find the weight that's right for you. So the exercise we're going to do is we're going to take the weight and hold it right above the shoulder, almost like your punching position. You don't want it touching your face. Obviously, weights are dirty, but we want to put it right over the shoulder. And what I want to do is feel the weight over this leg. And then I'm going to push with the leg slowly and rotate. And as my leg straightens, my hip is going to turn. And then when I get to where my hip is fully rotated out, I'm going to extend my hand. And here, I have to challenge my core in order to stabilize that hand out. I have to tense the muscles, all of my core. So all my ab muscle, my obliques, my glutes, my back muscles, the QLs, those sort of things. Everything's got to be tense, right? So that I don't fall forward and I don't lose that weight. I want it to be challenging. I want this to almost be like a core workout. In fact, that's what it is. But I really want to feel the difference between my leg pushing the weight and then extending, or doing this where my punch is initiated by the hand. So now the weight's in front of me already, and now I'm going to lose it as I start to push. You can see there that when my hand initiates the punch, my hip is still back. So I haven't initiated my hip. I haven't initiated my leg, the most powerful part. All I'm doing is pushing my hands out, and I can engage my core and keep here, but that's not the point of the drill. I want to really feel the difference. I want to feel the weight on this back leg, and I want to feel my leg push, and it's going more straight. If you're more boxer, you can come up off the foot. Doesn't matter, right? This works for both disciplines. And I'm twisting, and now my hip is turned, and I'm extending out. So this is very important because some people think when they're hitting the bag, they can feel that their hips are rotating, but they're not actually engaging with their legs first. The change should be legs, then hip, then waist, then through the shoulder and out to the hand. But sometimes people will punch and then their hips turn last. And that's not putting the power. That's your hips following your hand rather than your hips throwing your hand out. So imagine that I push off the ground and that energy comes out, and this allows me to throw, the push from the ground throws my hand out automatically, right? So I'm throwing my hands, right? I'm not just moving my hand like this and by default my body is punching, okay? So that's where this drill becomes really, really valuable. And that's why I don't want a weight that's too light. Again, if I pick up this little 5-pound weight, I might be able to do this all day long, and it doesn't really challenge my core. I can put this out there all day long, 5 pounds, very easy. So I might not feel that weight over the back leg as I turn and engage the core and get through, right? So let's take a look at the bag and see what those two punches, the differences in power on the bag. Okay, so we're going to transfer this to the bag. What I don't want to do is lead with the hand. I want to push off the leg. So I'm going to do this slower so that you can see the difference in power. If I go as hard as I can, it might be difficult to see the difference. So I'm going to start off my weight back and I push off the leg. And as I push, my hip goes forward and it goes through the body. Now, if I go slow and I keep my hand initiates, you can see big difference in power. There's no leg there behind it. So if I do that fast, it's the difference of this, right? And then if I stop this bag for a second, here's one initiated from the hand first. And hopefully you can see the difference in power between those two. If you use your legs are the most powerful thing you have. Think about it. You're running, you're walking all day and you're using your legs all the time, right? All your striking power comes from the legs, or it should. So this is a little drill that you can use to correct that chain. Make sure that it's coming from the leg, through the hip, all the way out through the waist, and engaging the core as you hit.